And he came back with extensive notes about how to do it. You have to get a bottle that has a long neck on it. You put it out, you point it down at a certain angle so it'll swirl and look nice. And so we did all of that.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then we got back in the car and headed a couple more hours north to a cabin. Some friends have a cabin. Then they were very close with Dick, and he'd spent a lot of time up there. And my son said, we should really do a Viking funeral, a Viking style funeral. Because I don't know why, he's watched television shows about Vikings or whatever. And there's the Scandinavian background. So I made, University of YouTube again. I looked online on how to make a paper mache Viking longship, which I did. I had several prototypes, and then had the sail and the mast and all of this stuff, and the little shields on the side.
Did you take any pictures?
I've got them somewhere, but I should have loaded them up.
Cool, yeah.
And we did a test run with one of the prototypes, and then loaded it up, and it took about 45 minutes for it to burn. And but we were out on the pontoon and launched it off. So we had the Viking funeral. And then the next day we were out on a pontoon, kind of just diving off the pontoon and swimming. And I looked up and saw, Wiki, thank you. I've got your question starred too. But we looked up and saw something in the sky I'd never seen before. It's called a sun halo.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
It's like a huge circle, and it's like a rainbow. Sort of like sundogs are just on both sides, but the sun halo is all the way around. It looks like a rainbow. And then there's the sun in the middle, and then the rest of it was filled with clouds. And it was like, wow, that was pretty neat. And
that's I'm gonna forever have the image of that bottle going out. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, they didn't tell anybody about it, but they have spotters who are at different corners, and they said there's somebody with his hand out the window. It looks like he's emptying a water bottle, and they were like on walkie-talkies or something, and someone said, "Yep, we know about that. It's okay. We'll talk about it at lunch." Oh, so welcome Valerie and Lena and Wiki and Emmy J. Thanks for coming. So anyhow, thanks for letting me go on and on about that. But it's kind of like in the more of the moving on period. Those first ones I did were still sort of lots of tears and sadness, and now it's getting more toward the celebration.
Yeah.
You
think he liked it?
I think he adored it, and I think he sent the sun halo and all kinds of other signs over the weekend. So that's great. It was really
So he was
fun.
really talking back to you and saying, "Hooray! I like that. I like that."
Yeah. And Valerie S., thank you. We've got your message. Well, let's get going here.
Let's get going.
With no further ado, we thank you all for coming. So let's see what we can bring in here for Ms. Carolyn Adams. A woman named Melody with 2 kids is interested in renting my parents' former summer cottage on my property. Will this be a good thing for all of us? Well, let's see. I'm going to tune in.
I hate to say this, but I'm getting a no.
It's taken me a while.
Yeah, I might be wrong. Let me tune in again.
I pulled a card and it's not real. It's not real positive. It might be. And before I pulled the card, I thought, I bet you I'm going to get the moon card, because it seems I got the idea that things aren't as they seem. There might be something there. Spirit, can you give us a little more information? Is this a good move for Carolyn? Is it the best move for everyone? No, that's interesting. I got that the pendulum I should have been doing up here said it would be good for you, but it wouldn't be good for everyone involved, which is a little odd. Do you have anything else on this?
I would check references, like real references. I would ask her for references. I hate to say this because I was a single parent with kids and there's discrimination, but I got this woman might be a little irresponsible. And if you do decide to rent it to her, which you could, I would get a good security deposit and check references. Because I don't feel, I'm just getting a feeling about it that to proceed with caution and verify everything. And I hate to say this because, being a person who's rented with little money and with pets and a daughter, you want somebody to trust you and embrace you. So this is going against what I want to say. But I would say if you do it, which you could, I would protect yourself with security deposit and references. How do you feel about it, Carolyn? You've got a pretty good gut on this. The fact that you're asking says that you might be a little uneasy about it.
That's why I wanted to ask. Just be wary.
Be wary. Yeah, I mean, be thorough. I would say be thorough.
Yeah.
As
an attorney, Carolyn, it's all about preventing, limiting potential negative outcomes. Oh, I'm sorry, because that would have been great.
I just feel like I don't know. I don't know where that feeling is coming from. So, but you got to go with it.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to say hello to Taro Your Way and Ellen, who I've starred your question. Ellen R. Brenda, Akila B., Debbie Kane, and I haven't met her yet. I know her mother.
It might be fine. I would just dig into it and really get a handle on an idea of what the situation is and the personalities are.
Yeah. And that tarot card I pulled looked to me like someone might be trying to take advantage of you. And so with your sharp legal mind, you can write a lease that would give you plenty of outs to say, well, this just isn't working, or maybe a trial period or something.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry that we didn't have happy news about that one. But let's see what we can do for Yvette Braggs. Hello, everyone. Will I get the job as a switchboard operator at the hospital?
Yes.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yes, you will.
You are so fast.
I have to just go with what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about this? Right away, my third eye chakra it's drilling a hole in my forehead. And I'm getting the idea that you have been trying to manifest. You've tried to envision the perfect job or the job that you want. And I'm getting the idea that this is it. Okay, Spirit, will she get the switchboard operator job at the hospital? Yes. Will this be a positive move for her? I get a bigger yes on that. So things look good.
There might be a woman there or a coworker you might not get along with, or your boss might be a little difficult, but you can handle that. You're going to get the job, and I think there's going to be somebody that might irritate you a little bit there. But I just hear a mosquito. You're like, but I think you'll be fine. And people are with you.
And I was getting the idea that it may take just a little bit to, get comfortable with the technology. Yeah. Like every place has something different. And the way Spirit showed that to me was they reminded me that when I was in college, I worked one summer at this place, and it was a country club that had a really, really old switchboard. It was like Ernestine the Operator, where you plug it in and all of that. So they were saying the technology might, I don't know if they were saying it's going to be old or it's just going to be something that you haven't done before, but it'll be just fine.
Yeah. You'll be good at it too. You'll be good at this job.
Wonderful. And here's Wiki. Let's see. Will my brother-in-law Bernard get his visa so he can join us in Italy? Oh, the brother-in-law. Bernard, are you going to get your visa?
It's going to take a little longer than you want, but I think he'll eventually get it.
Yeah. I saw yes, but then I saw his teeth biting. It's like by the skin of his teeth. It's going to be really, really close.
Yeah. I would light a candle and say a prayer every night to push that energy forward and see a positive outcome, but I see it happening.
Oh, excuse me. I was looking at the wrong place, which doesn't, but Yvette said she will not let her get to her, that little Nat woman.
Yeah.
That's
you know how
good.
you always like, it's the work. It's not the job that's difficult. It's the people at work. you know.
And yes, she said she tried to manifest this job. So that makes sense why okay. And
let us know.
Says, thanks so much. I will come back and great. That'll be wonderful. Okay, let's see who's up next. And thank you everybody for bearing with me. I'm trying to get better at this, but it's still pretty slow. Here's Lena Marira Singh. Do you see my exes coming in my life? And do you see me traveling in 2024 abroad?
You have a couple of exes, huh?
Okay, a couple of exes coming back. And do you see me traveling? Okay.
One's going to get sick. One of your exes is going to get sick. And might need your help, or you'll connect with him that way.
Yeah, I see when I tuned in about the exes, I saw you, and actually you're wearing a very nice blue dress, walking away, but he grabbed your ankle and was pulling you back. And so that probably jives with what you were saying.
Yeah, that something's going to happen, whether he'll be sick or somebody in the family is sick, but a life event is going to happen where you're going to sort of, because it's family, you're going to go back and reconnect. And he's going to be pissed that he let you go. But you have a big heart. I see you having a very big heart, and you'll give. You'll be a giver. And so that's part of your nature, is to give. So and you'll feel good about it in the end. The other ex is just, I'm not getting anything. And yeah, I don't know why I'm seeing the Mideast, or that you're going to be traveling to a non-white country in 2024. You know, non-European, WASPy European country. Which, you know, you could go to Argentina or Thailand where people are white, but it's going to be a different culture. You're going to be going to a different cultural area. Like, I don't see you going to France. You probably will go to Argentina or some other more exotic place. That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
And when I tuned in, I saw, you know, he was pulling on your leg, and you did have contact with him, but it was like you were setting the rules. She says, because I saw you walking away, he wants you back, but it's like, okay, I'll do this much, or I'll help organize, but I didn't see you coming, you know, back to like tend to his every needs, maybe you're the person who helps arrange support for him or whatever. Okay, only one ex, and his name is Salim. Okay, great.
Yeah, and something will happen where you're going to go back and, you know, give him that love, give him that little what he needs, and then you're going to move forward with your life. You're going to go travel and eat some good food.
And when I tuned in, I saw southern Italy. I saw the boot, but it was like not the high boot. It was like the the booty kind of boot, the lower one down. So don't rule that out either.
Yeah.
Because keep, do what you need to do and what you feel is right to do. But know that in the beginning, you were walking away. You've got plans of your own. You've got things to do, places to go. So good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Thank you for that question.
Yeah. And be strong. Be yourself.
Yes. Be true to yourself.
Give, but don't give all of yourself.
And here is Valerie S.'s question. May I have a message from my guides or ancestors for inspiration? Ooh, that sounds good.
Do you read cards, Valerie? Do you have a tool that you tune into the universal energy with? There's, I'm hearing that to try to find a tool or a way to tune into the universal energy that we're all part of, and that you will be surprised and very pleasantly pleased on how easy and well that information comes in for you. And it's going to occupy a lot of your time because you're going to find it to be a lot of fun. I don't know if it's tarot cards or being outside and looking at a leaf or touching a tree or doing pendulum work, but they're saying it's a good way to expand your energetic and vibrational body. So, because they're always with you, they want to play. We want to play.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And when I tuned in, the heart chakra just lit up. So there's lots of love for you there, and they are encouraging you to kind of reciprocate, like not only sending love back to those on the other side, but to send out love in whatever way you can. And then I pulled a card, and it was the Archangel Michael, step into empowerment. So that it could very much be the empowerment of, developing your psychic and spiritual and abilities and attunements and intuition. Let me see if I can get anything else. Green apples. I'm seeing small green apples or small. They look like green apples. I don't know what that means.
It means that because I'm reading, I have cards, recently other divinational tools. I love being outside. It means that you're going to grow and go follow those, have fun, get your friends over, and you're going to become a big ripe red apple very soon. So those green apples are the beginning. Of a new life, the beginning of a new life.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Valerie, I would just go for it. I mean, I see you being outside having fun. Make sure you have fun and you don't take it too seriously. And all the nature sprites and all of your guides and stuff, they want to play. They want to have a good time with you this summer, especially this summer.
That sounds great. Hey, look who's appeared. It's Sharon Sipe, the famous Sharon Sipe. Thank you so much. I feel honored that you're here. Wonderful. Thanks. And thank you, Valerie, for that question.
Yeah.
Now we have Emmy J. I would love a message from my guides.
Mary Ellen. Okay, so it's Mary. Name's Mary Ellen. I feel like you've had some disappointments. Things have been disappointing you in a subtle way, not like a big disappointment. like the guy you asked out for a date turned you down, but you've had little disappointments. Things haven't been going your way, and you've kind of had to suck them up and move on. And believe me, I know that is just the pits. It's totally the pits. You can't really complain about it because there's a lot of little things that have piled up on themselves. But take heart. And I hate saying this because I hate it when people say it to me, but it says to move in another energetic direction, which I've had some disappointments lately, which hurt, but it's telling me that I need to go in another energetic direction. I don't like it, so I can see that. So, go have a martini or a massage or call a friend or do something which is self-love. Having a martini isn't necessarily self-love. One martini is, but sort of give yourself a break and give yourself a little bit of love and encouragement. Get a hug from your best friend or your mom or somebody and just get that extra boost to move on to the next thing. And things will start flowing easier. You've just had some rocks in the river lately, but I feel like if you have a cat, your cat really loves you, or your animals around you really love you, and they can give you that little extra love that you need. But I see clear skies for you in the future. So your guides are saying, keep moving forward. It's going to get better.
And when I tuned in, right away I heard the words, you don't give yourself enough credit. So give yourself a pat on the back, even if it's for something you consider little. And then I saw a marching band, with like the uniforms and the hat and the baton twirlers and the tubas and going like back and forth and all that, the big celebration. So be your own marching band. Give, kind of make a big deal out of whatever it is, whatever accomplishment you've made, whether it's going to the grocery store and and not having road rage on the way back or whatever it is, even something little. Give yourself the credit that you deserve.
Yeah.
And then I started pulling cards for you, and I got the Four of Cups, which is sort of like maybe not feeling like everything's quite right. Sort of that feeling of not quite disappointment, but like not dissatisfaction. And then I got from the Feathers deck the Loon card, which is saying pay attention to your dreams. Messages and guidance are floating in. And then the Archangel Zadkiel, who is saying strengthen your boundaries. So that might, okay. And now I'm hearing the boundaries are you decide what to think about yourself and what to think of a situation. And don't let other people's opinions, including ours, by the way, overly influence you. Go to your gut and go to your, check in with your guides. And they're saying, you're the one who decides. You get to set the boundaries on what you're, not only what you're going to do and what you'll accept, but what you're going to let into your aura, into your energy, and just into your mind. It's like, no, I'm not, maybe she didn't like what I was wearing today, but I like it. So tough. And just be able to let the rest of the stuff roll off your back a little bit. So I hope some of that was helpful.
I'm going to comment about when people say the God within you, like everybody goes, oh, we're all one, we're all God. And really the God within you is your life force energy, because God is, to me, life force energy. So when we say, when I say honor yourself or do something nice for yourself, recognize in yourself that you are a unique molding or a unique construction of the God energy. and that's who you are. And you wouldn't be made this way if you weren't important. And so, when I talk a lot about self-love, it's not necessarily, getting outside affirmation or saying, you look good or you're the right weight. It's the recognition that your energy, because it's created and you are on earth, is important. And it might not seem important to you at that time, but you're important to other people, your energy and the way it was made, like a snowflake. All snowflakes are made out of snow, but each one is different. And people are very much like that. We're all people, but we're all made in a different manner. So recognize or try to see that who you are, the snowflake that you are is important, and sort of move into that energy. And hopefully that can open up doors to self-recognition that way. Because we always say self-love and taking care of yourself, and a lot of times we don't know what that means. To me, it's like a martini down at Harry's, but it's also realizing that what you have to say, even if it's you're saying thank you to the guy who opened the door for you, that unique energy is important. So I don't know where that came from, but it just did. So
yeah. And Carolyn Adams is saying we're all fractals of the same
we're
energy.
Right? Yeah, and that's what they mean of the God within you, that we're all fractals. And even if you live on the street corner, your energy is important to the matrix. And recognizing that importance, that just existing is enough. Sometimes it's very hard for us, very competitive, ego-driven Americans. So
Wonderful.
That's it. Yeah. My soapbox, I'm off of it right now. No, I get these things come in. They come in. So.
And it's nice that we have the time and the space to just let it rip. Oh, and Lisa said, thank you for that reference to self-love.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
And thank you so much. So wonderful.
Yeah.
So, oh dear. Okay, now where was I? Here we go.
Okay.
Could I get a message from my guides? What do I need to know? Well, let's find out.
Well, you're a funny person. For some reason, I think you're a very funny person, and you have, I'm seeing a bubbling stream or some water, which is very happy. That recognize that as being, I don't know if you show it all the time, but you certainly have a lot of life energy in you. And to think about how you want to manifest it. And this is free will. So you need to know that your energy can manifest in ways that you want it to. And you have a lot of it. You have a lot of very clear energy coming through you. Just like a spring stream that's got wildflowers around it. Think about how you want to mold that. Maybe I feel like you're learning something or wanting to re-identify yourself in a way. So your energy and your guides are there to help you shape that in the way you want. So you need to know that you've got great energy, you have desire, and you have the ability to mold yourself in the way you want it. And it could be whether you're going to volunteer for a job, you're going to get a job, you're going to read a book, you're going to read all summer and not talk to anybody. It could be any manifestation that you want. And so that's what I'm getting really for you is that you have the energy in the way you make it. You've got help into creating it the way you want it.
Cool. That's beautiful. Right away, my throat chakra lit up and I heard, speak up, the world needs to hear what you have to say. So you've got, don't let society or whatever say, oh, to make you feel less than, that you have something to add to the stew that will make it better for everyone. Yeah, and I forgot about this. I pulled this card for you. It is the New Earth, and it says, share your gifts. So that's another way of saying the same thing. And
Yep.
I got the hummingbird. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. So that high vibe, that happiness, it can be silliness or whatever. It can be dancing around the living room to your favorite song. That getting your vibe up is a way of communicating as well as verbally or in writing. So yeah, they want you to
move on, move forward. Yeah,
move on, lighten up, and have a good time.
Have a good time. Yep. Yep.
And speak up too. Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, Ellen R. May I have a reading about what's coming up in June for me? All right. Let's see.
Do you have family? Your family things that need to be taken care of? Some family things that need to be decided. I'm seeing a lot of wisdom, a lot of books sort of going into your what's going on with your family or your home energetic situation where things need to be settled or decided. I feel like you have the ability to decide whatever comes up. You're smart. You've got good decision making, but there's people around you that you might have to deal with, and consensus. I'm hearing consensus that you're going to have to. It could be a consensus on when to have a party or what goes what where. But I'm seeing documents and something like that. I don't know if it's in June, but it might be coming up this summer. And then I think you'll be done. I think that you've got to make these decisions and then you'll be done and you'll feel a lightness, and the rest of the summer won't be so much of a problem for you.
And Ellen says she's estranged from her birth family.
Okay. All right.
So that kind of makes sense. Before you started talking, I tuned in and the first thing I saw was a tree. I thought, okay, what's the tree about? And then it branched out. It was like really solid. And then it really branched out, and the branches look kind of like when you do a family tree. Sometimes they're illustrated with an actual tree. And then I saw that it was strong and it could take all the wind. So even though you're estranged from them, okay, Spirit, so what does this mean for Ellen in this circumstance right now? There are things you can draw on from your family that without having to talk to them or deal with them. Maybe it goes back to previous generations and qualities of strength and fortitude. That's a word I wouldn't have come up with myself. That got them through difficult times and can help you through difficult times. So your family can be there for you, even if you're not speaking to the current members who you're estranged from. They're there for you from the other side, and their roots go very deep, and they're sending you love. Let's see. Did I pull a card? No. I think I'm going to skip the cards for now because that's kind of what I got for you, Ellen. I hope that makes sense.
And I think this is a decision or identity or someplace that you need to decide who you are and what you're going to take and what you're not going to take, and sort of move on from there. So, and it's difficult. I mean, I have certainly have big problems with my birth family. Like they, like I don't have a family. So I understand that, but it's, I think it's going to be an internal emotional process that you're going to move through, and come to a consensus or fortitude or an identity for yourself. You're going to take what you need and leave the rest. So I see that because I see this big green tunnel, kind of libraries going through that kind of thing. And I have the utmost confidence that you are going to be able to form who you are from this and move forward. Not all in one day, but it will happen. So good luck, Ellen.
Yep.
I feel for you, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And backing up, I'm sorry, CS, we didn't see that. I didn't see this before we moved on. She thanked us and said a previous job really dampened her self-esteem and made her question herself. So this helped. So,
don't question yourself. Your guides are saying don't.
Yep.
Don't.
Get that brass band behind you there.
Yeah. You are a good energy, really good energy. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was Ellen R. And here is Lisa Niedermeyer. I'd like to hear from my grandmother, Dorothy.
If possible.
We'll give it a try.
Is this your father's mother? Is it?
Let's see.
Let's see, Dorothy. After we have to get past the Wizard of Oz with that name. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm hearing, dear, you take yourself way too seriously. And you just need to I'm seeing an orchard with apples, being outside. I think this person worked or did a lot, would take nature and make it into food, or make it, take nature to nurture everybody. She's saying, dear, don't take life too seriously. Remember that there's good and bad in everything, and to move through the bumps in life with as much so to avoid bruising yourself so much you can't get out of bed. But she was a nurturer. I feel like she was a nurturer, and well, I don't know if everybody really liked her. She liked you though. So another energy is coming in. I don't know which energy this is. I'm seeing somebody who's depressed. So I don't know who that is. Was your mother, was she depressed? Did she have a hard time? Or this could be another energy coming in. But her message is, don't take things so seriously, and just go with the bumps in life, because things always work out. Because I'm seeing Joan's green apples. And Elise, I don't know if I'm also getting a woman who is depressed, who stayed in the house all the time. So I don't know who's who here.
Yes, depression runs in the family, be included.
Okay, so that, yeah, because she's showing me somebody staying in the house being depressed, and to maybe her message is to don't stay in that house too long. And there are good things in life. So maybe that's where I'm getting the tree. Yeah. So she's with you. She understands you, and she, you know, there's that you need to walk out of your house and enjoy the sunshine, even if you don't want to. So, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Joan. Am I talking too much?
No, not at all. I think that was very lovely. And what I was getting was right away, I saw her giving you a bouquet of flowers. And for some reason, they drew my attention to the fact that the flowers had they were kind of held in sort of a lacy doily kind of thing. It kind of looked like, when you made Valentines as a kid in those little paper doilies and would cut them all up. It was something like that. So taking something and making it a little more special for you, because she has lots of love for you. And then I got, then it just switched, and all of a sudden I was seeing a brown horse. And it wasn't like a thoroughbred. It was just this horse on a farm, and it was really calm. And they showed it to me calm and gentle and strong. And I think they're saying those are some of your qualities, and that those types of qualities can be overlooked. But then I was seeing this horse, sitting in the stall, kind of munching hay, and then it was pulling the plow, and then it was hooked up to a wagon taking somebody into town. And this is probably, I don't think this is literal. I think this is just symbolic, that that you can do lots of different things, and maybe people just might take advantage of you or not give you the proper accolades for all that you do, but she sees it. And it's not like you're the thoroughbred running at the Kentucky Derby, or, the fastest trotter or whatever, but you're the one who has the demeanor to help in all these different situations and the skills. And that Dorothy is saying that that's very valued, and she's given you flowers for it. So I hope that makes some sort of sense.
Yeah. Joan's got it completely correct. She really values you. She's sending you love. She understands what you're going through, and that when you can't value yourself, she's valuing you. She's giving you those flowers. So remember, you're always supported. Joan is 100% correct.
And I forgot to mention that I drew a card, and it is perspective. Zoom out and relax. So don't beat yourself up in the big picture. As my mother used to say, it'll all be the same in 100 years.
Right.
And I used to get so angry when she'd say that.
I know. And now you know.
But I want to go to the dance this Friday.
I understand what she means. Yeah. So. Exactly. Hey, Viviani, how you doing? How you feeling these days? Let's see. General reading for Emily. I feel like somebody's broken your heart, or there's been a disappointment for you. And it's something that you live with. So I'm getting I think you've been carrying it around for a while, and they're just acknowledging that it's just part of where you are right now. I don't know if you have animals or a friend that you walk with or that you talk with quite often, but that friend is very valuable and very loved. And that you're grateful that you have this friend. I'm just sort of, I see doves. I see the atmosphere that a dove would be in, of sort of like that coo of the morning dove, a softness and a gentleness to you and to what's going on. And sometimes books have very satisfying, nourishing endings, where things work out and they're okay. That's what I'm getting. And I'm seeing a very special soft light, that kind of soft light of the dawn, or the soft light that you get on like a semi-cloudy day or just a hazy day, that nice sort of iridescent soft light. And I see that sort of coming off of you, that you've got a lot of nice high vibrational qualities that are spread out. So they're not like one big, energy, and that people sort of undervalue you for your very subtle, nice gifts that you have. But your guides are saying, just because people don't see them, we see them, and we see the value in you being who you are, and that you are very valued and you are very important. Your energy is very important to the people around you. So that's what I'm getting.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I was tuning in, and it's interesting. The top 1, 2, 3, top 4 chakras, from the heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakra, lit up. And, those are the, from the higher vibration types of chakras, more influencing, from the bridge of the heart, from the lower to the higher, to, all the way up. But there was an absence of the lower 3. So I'm getting the idea that while you're pursuing whatever you're pursuing, building your intuition or your spiritual life, don't forget to ground yourself, and think about the need to, to ground yourself for protection and survival, the creativity and power, and the confidence that you'll need and get from those lower 3 chakras too. And then I was going to pull some cards for you, and got the Archangel of Charity, which says, bring on the love. And obviously you've been doing that. That was all lit up. And then I got a starling that says, now's the time to get out into the world and connect in authentic ways. And then from the Sacred Earth Oracle deck, I got influence. And I think that the whole idea of grounding yourself and will have an influence and be helpful for you to kind of do the whole chakra meditation, but really ground yourself into the center of the earth. And that might be helpful to keep things in balance. Anyhow, Emily, thank you very much for your question, and I hope that was helpful. Let's see who. Starfish showed up. Starfish HHI.
Hey, we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lisa Niedermeyer said, yes, you're so right. I will loosen up. No more seriousness.
Well, I know I take myself too seriously. I need to go out and punch around with my friends to remind me that, because if I spend too much time alone, I start digging in on myself. So I know how you feel. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's a question from our own Viviani.
Yeah.
If time allows, can I have a message? You most certainly may.
Viviani, I'm getting move your body to moving your body in whatever way you want will help move out old furniture and old ideas. To maybe put a song on, or whatever way, like physical movement will help break through and release some of the emotional suitcases you have in your head. And this is just, it could be little bits where you're tapping your toes while you're doing the dishes, or you're pounding drumsticks somewhere, or going for a walk around the block. But when things get stuck, I feel like things are getting stuck in you a little bit, that to get them unstuck is just walk around the block a couple of times and they'll loosen up and move through. That it's just part of life that old garbage gets caught, like in Star Wars, when they're in the garbage chute. They're like, they're in the garbage chute. That just, physical movement can help that release a lot of that in your mind. And that, you're keep moving forward, keep finding out who you really are. And that will come inch by inch, bit by bit, not all in one big thing. So I sing in the car, but we'll dance more at home. Exactly. Singing is good. I sing in the car, but dancing at home pops out that old, the old emotional pattern that you might have. If it just keeps coming up, sing and dance around the block twice. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, looking for a job. Well, and
That'll do it.
The movement will help that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Thayer. What I got was, I tuned in and I got this image that kept shape-shifting. It was of a man with dark kind of bouffanty hair, and he had a mustache, and then it kept changing and changing, but I think it got down to, so it was someone who was very dramatic and presenting himself in a very theatrical way. And it took a while, but it came down to, it was Prince and then it was Little Richard. And they were kind of shape-shifting in between. And so the message was, do things your own way. Don't succumb to the ordinary, to the way things have already been done. They had high standards. They both had high standards for what they did, but they didn't do it like anybody else did. So just because you might do things differently, don't worry about it. That's how they made, how they became famous. And I pulled a card for you, and it's the Archangel of Joy. Prioritize play and pleasure. So that dovetails with what Thayer was saying too. So excellent. I hope that is helpful for you.
And you'll get a job. It's a sort of a shape-shifting kind of thing, a peeling away, the looking for the job and peeling away the old. It's painful and it's sort of a pain in the ass. It's uncomfortable, but I really have a great feeling you're going to end up with a good job and smooth skin. That old skin is going to peel off.
That might have been Little Richard and Prince both. People, because they were a little bit different, people didn't know what to make of them at first. Yeah. But then it was like, so in the job search, it might be, but then they see what you can do, and it's like, you're going to be perfect.
Kismet. Joan and I have kismet. Kismet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I've been out of work for years, so I can understand that. Whoops. Anyhow, thank you very, very much.
Well, I know that feeling. It's uncomfortable, it's scary, it's difficult, and I think that's where the movement comes in, is kind of moving that energy through your body, and it's just it's not any fun, but you will land a good job. You will get there. It's a life bump that sucks.
Yeah.
I can say.
Oh, jobs, interviewing.
Yeah.
Oh, and yes, and please come back and tell us about it. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was off over there and clicking at things land. But yeah, so that brings us to just about an hour. Do you have anything else going on there that you wanted to talk about?
Well, I'm taking a break from meeting with the mediums for the summer. I'm going to probably do a call in from when I'm in England. I mean, I kind of don't want to, but I just feel it's necessary that I kind of regroup a little bit. And of course, once in a while I can come on Joan's show, but it's the, I don't know. I'm really big with obligations. If I say I'm going to do something, I have to show up and stuff. So, no, just remember that things always work out.
Yes. And again, I don't know if I said this on the air or to you personally, but by taking care of yourself, you're taking care of yourself, and you're also modeling good behavior of how you do that. To just not like go with the flow all the time. It's like, nah, I need some time for me. So good for you.
Yeah. I feel like I have parts of me that I've been working on, and then I feel like they all sort of need to come together. And, when I do a show like this, sometimes I just put so much pressure on myself that I need to get more comfortable with my inner dialogue. I mean, today, Joan, I always feel so relaxed around you. I mean,
oh, good. There's a standing invitation. Anytime you want to call up and say, hey, let's go on, I'll be there. Because I do like reading with you. Anyway, it works out well.
Yeah. So anybody, rock and roll, have a good time. And we all love Joan, and got to send Joan a lot of big love.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to plug myself, though. I've got some things coming up. I'm going to be on with Allie on Meet the Mediums on Thursday. And then Saturday at 2:00 Central, I'll be on with Scott Scorpio Moon. And he's someone else that we kind of read well together. I felt so bad. He had like a 2-year channel anniversary, and I was supposed to be there, and I absolutely zoned out. And so I'll apologize to him personally then. And then on Monday, I'll be on the Crone Zone. And then Kelly, of Dozen Cats for Me later on Monday afternoon. So we'll get all of those posted up and hope to see some of you there.
Yeah.
And if you want to book a reading, go to my About page, and you can find where you can book a reading. I do personal readings, but mainly I just really like getting in touch with everybody, and I hope everybody's enjoying their summer and being kind to themselves and having a really good time. So thank you so very much for coming, and we'll see you again soon. Mwah! Take care.